Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name is Jimmy, and Samsung just pushed off the Samsung One UI 8 beta program to the Galaxy S25 series. Now, before we go in depth to do a comparison of the key differences between Samsung One UI 7 and Samsung One UI 8, let's get this out of the way first because I know that this already came up as a question in my past video, even though I also shared this towards the very beginning, but maybe it wasn't at the beginning enough. So this is for only devices so far, the Galaxy S25, the S25 Plus, and the S25 Ultra in Germany, Korea, the UK, and the United States. Now, additional countries and additional devices will be added down the road, but this is where it's starting off, kicking off today, which is May 28th. Now, the other thing that I want to get out of the way too is that when I first signed up for this, it is specifically for T-Mobile and unlocked devices. So with those house cleaning details out of the way, how about we take a look at the key differences between Samsung One UI 7 with Android 15 versus Samsung One UI 8 with Android 16. Now this right here is a Easter egg. This is where you have a game that's built into the device where if you press and hold on this icon, but there's an additional Easter egg that some people might not have known. But when you take a look at Android 15 and you count the stars, there is 15 stars. And then Android 16, same thing. If you go over here and you start counting the stars, there is 16 stars sitting there. Now, both of these games are very similar. When you go into it, it's just a little asteroid game. You're a little bit of a small little spaceship. As you swing your little finger across the screen, you are thrusting and propelling yourself in any direction to find stars and clusters. Now, over here on Android 15, you do not have autopilot, but on Android 16, you have autopilot. This is going to take you to the nearest star or constellation, and it's going to land you at that location. Now, it's just a little fun game on the back end of, the Android system, so you can go through, try to find it. Really, you can just spend hours at this if you want to, but it's also fun just to do it with the auto feature, which is just autopilot. It's going to land me right up over there. A cool thing is that you will get a notification letting you know where you are heading to and how long it would take for you to get to that destination. So in yesterday's video, I went in depth to share with you how you're able to join the beta program. That's just by going inside of the Samsung members application. And you can find that banner on the very top where you're able to sign up if you don't see the section right here that is dedicated to the beta program, and anything that you can join will show up right here. Also, we went over the full entire changelog, so we won't go over the full entire changelog in this video. I'm just going to show you the key differences. If you ever want to know about all of the entire changelog of everything, you just have to watch yesterday's video where I go through all of these different sections. Now, the first key difference that I want to share with you other than the Easter egg, and that will be quick share. So first off, over here on the brand new Samsung One UI 8 beta, if I go inside of the quick share just by tapping, it'll take me to this new screen. First off, this is me able to receive something. So I am now ready to receive, and that's pretty much the exact same thing that you would do over here, which is you tap on it and it says, who can share with you. You can either say no one, contacts only, or everybody, and then it'll be for 15 minutes, and that's it. So I will show up in other people's area if they want to send something, but that is the only thing that pops up when you tap on the icon. The other thing is that if you do a press and hold, it'll get you into the full settings where you can do link sharing and a few additional things, but it doesn't have this additional tab on the bottom right-hand side where I can send to somebody else, which is just intuitive. It makes it simple. If you open up Quick Share, either you will receive something or you will send something. This is where you can select the files. And so if there's a couple things you would want to send off, you hit on done, and then it's going to show all of the people that are around you that you're able to send it to. The other thing that you can also do is create a QR code or a link. So if there's somebody who is not nearby, you can just send them the link, or if they own an iPhone or something, then you can just send them the link and then they're able to get all of these files. So that is one of the main key differences here. So even if I do a press and hold, it gets me into this whole settings. And I will state over here, it will do the exact same thing. So if I do a press and hold, it will get me into the settings. You can, go through everything, change your stuff. You have your private sharing, your link sharing, everything is right there. But when it comes down to just using Quick Share, which this does make a ton of sense, you simply just do a tap, And this is where I can send and also receive. And this one is just basically setting up who can share something with me. The next big change, this one is dealing with Samsung Reminder. Now, I didn't use Reminder too often beforehand, but I feel like after this full overhaul, I probably will, especially with me putting more and more in my calendar, which is a lot of stuff outside of YouTube. But over here, this is all that you have in Samsung One UI 7. You just have a couple little categories, which is my reminders and all categories and what there is today. And then you have over here, you have all of these different categories, which is today. So I can just take a look at what was happening today and what was also completed. What is scheduled, what's important, the place, no alert, completed. And then these two right here, it's pretty similar. You have the My Reminders, and then you have Family or all categories. And then down over here, you have what has happened today. And then you also have more things you can do. So you can create a workout schedule, and you can just have one created for you, or you can do it yourself. You have a monthly payment reminder. You have a pickup reminder for when you get home. You have like a grocery list that's just right here. So rather than me trying to create a grocery list, I can just tap here and then I can add in all my different items and then I can, check them off when they are done. Now, when any of these are done, then you're just able to tap on that one and then it has been completed. So you can see here, 2 out of the 3 things has been completed. And now when I tap on this little dot, it's going to cross that out. And now I have completed 3 of my 3 tasks today. So with the overhaul, the way that it looks, I feel like it's just a little bit better when it comes down to the UI. I think that I will be able to use this just a little bit more. I've got those, reminders out of the way, but it doesn't, this just gives you more details. So I feel like with this overhaul, I would use a reminder much more. And also with Reminder, how they have it set up for me to go through the settings, I think it's just a lot easier than before. Beforehand, it's a little bit more complicated to get to this screen right here for me to change my alert background. So, when you do have any type of an alert that's coming on, you can choose any of these backgrounds, and then now you have something that is set up for your reminders. Now let's take a look at the updated split screen. So for this one, I'm going to open up the internet. I'm going to tap on this icon, go to the open in split screen view. And if there's none of these that you would want to open, you can just go inside of here. It shows you all of your applications, and maybe you need to do, some jot down of notes or maybe some math. So let's open up the calculator. And for this one, let's say that you go to this whole, 90-10 ratio. You're not like a 50-50 ratio. So on the very top, you are reading with whatever you are doing. Down here, you can tap on it, and now it's going to switch. So it's a way that you're able to have a large screen experience with an application, but then have another one just ready to go to open up to look at more. So when you take a look at some more information, maybe you have to jot down some more notes, maybe you have to put in some more, equations or math, you're adding stuff up, whatever the case, maybe it's 2 different internets, or maybe it's a YouTube video and then your notes. It's a way that you can switch between the 2 super quick while still having a large screen experience, but another one that is just there handy to open up again. Now let's take a look at Samsung Internet. So what they did here was that they made the toolbar a little bit better and some of the icons a little bit better and the settings. So over here, when I go into the little, menu option, I have the share icon. This one does not have that. I mean, it has it there, but it's not highlighted. Then you have this whole menu area and then additional buttons. And really this small area down here is what you see right here. And then you just have some of your favorite ones on the very top, which is, they're just kind of layering and putting in different categories. And then if you press and hold on any of these, the way that you're able to customize your screens, I think it looks better over here. Here is your menu, here's additional icons, here's the toolbar, and then here's the active buttons. So as you go through, you can probably play with and tell that this one is a little bit easier to manage, especially because, I'm just looking right here. These are some of the buttons that I wanted to change, and I was able to easier than if I was to look on the screen over here. Because let's say that I tap on one of these articles, then I will have this icon right there that is going to read aloud the highlights of this entire article. So instead of going through the full entire thing, it'll actually just read it back to me. But there is an option, rather than read aloud the highlighted, stuff, you just be able to have the highlights of that page that you can read for yourself. The next big key difference between Samsung One UI 7 and One UI 8 is the weather application. Now, I've shown this in past videos. I've done full deep dives of these applications. I showed every single weather event, if it's raining, snowing, if it's thunderstorming, if it's sunny, if it's cloudy, whatever the case. There's a lot better animations when it comes down to the weather application. And they are coming from the same source. So these are weather.com, but they were just able to make this, a little bit more fluid, look a little bit better. There's one area that I would love for them to improve on, and that is changing the text from white to black. Because if it is a very sunny day or a very cloudy day, there's a lot of white clouds, and the sun is also very bright. So it'll actually take away the white lettering, so I can't really read the city that I am looking at. So really, I just want them to change these white letterings over into something that is black, because then it's going to be a little bit easier to read exactly where you are, based on what it's doing with the weather. But as you scroll through everything else, it's pretty much the exact same. You have your information, the rise and the fall of the sun. You have radars and maps right there in the bottom. You have, what is the moon phase? And, a lot of the details that they give us is accurate when it comes down to when it's going to rain and how much. Another big key difference is inside of My Files. Now, My Files got a overhaul look of the application. So you can see here on Samsung One UI 7 that you have your recent files up here, which could be downloads, pictures, screenshots, whatever, and then it goes into categories, and then, a few additional things. Over here on Samsung One UI 8, which again, it is easier to find files through search, but then they also changed the look of this. So they put the categories on the top, then the recently, added files over here, which is images, screenshots, downloads, whatever. And then you have all of the rest. And a lot of this is pretty similar, but the organization of it has been updated. Another update that has happened is with your My Profile card. So this is the icon and name that would show up if you were to call somebody. And when you go through your settings, you can set it up to where you want everybody to see this or just your contacts. So when you tap on My Profile card, and then you tap on this is just an easier, better way to change your avatar or change your images. It could be something from, the avatar that you can create or something from your gallery. You just go to this edit icon. Now, these two images that you see here, this is what will be shown when I was to call somebody and I am saved in their contacts. And then this is the icon that will show inside of their contact list. Now, the last thing that I want to cover is inside of the clock. So this is where if you wanted to group alarms. So over here, I have Whiteout, which is a game that I play, and there's a lot of alarms that happens with it. You can see over here, I have a bunch more. And if I wanted to integrate or bring in already existing alarms. So let's say that from beforehand, before I created this group of alarms, I had some of these here that I would want to be put into here. But then instead of me going through and creating them again, I'd be able to tap on Whiteout, tap on the plus, and I can just add an existing alarm. Now on One UI 7, if I'm inside of here and if I wanted to bring in one of them, I'm not able to. I'm just having the ability to create a new alarm. So the thing about this is that you might be in a situation where everything for school alarms, work alarms, maybe some game alarms, kind of like what I have here. So when you create a group, then you are now able to bring in some of the alarms that you previously have created, and you can bring it into the group that it's supposed to go to. So maybe you want to have vacation alarms, school alarms, work alarms, weekend alarms, whatever it could be. Create your own groups. If you already have alarms set in your phone, then you just bring them in from the existing input you already did. So that is everything that I wanted to share in today's video, from which countries is included to which devices, which as of right now is only the S25 series, and soon the rest of the devices will be added in, and all of the main key feature differences from One UI 7 to One UI 8. Now, I know a lot of people don't have One UI 7 yet, so One UI 8 is going to be a bigger change. But hopefully you guys have appreciated this video. If you did, give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to hit subscribe. Subscribe on the very bottom left-hand side. And if you like this video, then more than likely you'll also like this video. And I'll see you guys later.